Good evening and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk. Tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Geats, episode 22. The Game Master is now a villain. Yes, guys, you heard it here, folks. Chirami, the crazy Goku Game Master, has completely lost it and turned to the dark side. Out of necessity. Because apparently there was no Yamato attacks. There's no squid attacks for days. And he thought that he's going to be the villain for the fourth round. And, because he has an audience to make happy. If no audience is happy, the ratings will drop and it will look bad. Really bad. Yeah, that's the gist of it right there. Thank you so much for coming, guys, and let us begin our tale, shall we? So we have our beloved Keiwa again. He's not doing the Keiwa Chronicles. He's getting interviewed, and this scene is all about him feeling terrified because, for one thing, the Death Star is still on the loose. Sae was not it. And he is very shaken up that Neon or Ace could be the Death Star. And the fact that he will have to vote against one of his friends, because remember, both Keiwa and Neon especially, since episode 1, has been through so much. And of course Ace as well. But I feel that Neon and Keiwa share something ever since that first episode. I'm not saying romantically, but they've been through a lot, and the idea of voiding one of them off pretty much terrifies him. Plus, the whole idea of him doubting people and just crushing them, it's just being the opposite of what Keiwa is. It doesn't go well with him. It goes against his nature, and I'm sure Kermit the Frog, since the last episode, has been waving the finger, lecturing him that why did you let the last events between you and Ace in the buckle boxes, why did you do that? You should be like no more Mr. Nice Guy, because you know what's at stake here. You need to win because, the sponsor is putting on bets that, hey, my guy Keiwa is gonna be the one winning, I guess. So he is scared, and we move on to Neon, and apparently Rami. I tend to butcher Japanese names, as you can tell. I tried. Let me see. Yeah, so it's Rami, and he placed a new mission. So Neon grabs the Death Star mission card, and mind you, it was underneath the cat plushie, which is a nice touch. And she reads that she needs to sabotage the last two riders. Any means necessary. Plus, if she gets caught and gets named the Death Star, her wish is none and void. It will go unfulfilled. So imagine it's between Ace and Neon, and she miraculously wins. Her wish will not go through because she failed, and she will need to wish for something else. So she will do whatever it takes to keep her identity secret, and she knows that there's no turning back from this. And then, speaking of the crazy cuckoo game master, this whole scene in the Temple of Desire is all about recapping how you win, who the Death Star is, well, like what the Death Star does, and also the ratings, the approval ratings. So Ace right now is at 37%. Keiwa and Neon are at 28%. And Michinaga, whose name is at the pie chart, is at 7%. And everybody was like, why is he a part of this? Like, what's going on? And Crazy Cuckoo Game Master explained that Michinaga now has a sponsor on his side, which automatically qualifies him to be a part of this tournament. And you can tell by Ace's face that he does not look happy at all. And when the Game Master explains the Death Star thing, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because to me, in that particular scene while he was explaining, he was orbiting around Neon, just getting close to her, and just like, I don't know, it felt like he was riveted in on Neon's face, and it's almost like he's trying to hint at Ace and Keiwa, like, yeah, you need to know that she's the Death Star. Like, you need to have a watchful eye on her and all that. I'm like, dude, Jesus, stop it! You're just giving her away here. So he was, after he does his recap, he was excited that, there's going to be a Jamoto attack. Riders, you would do your thing. He was like leading the charge. And then after the opening credits, he's dead as a doorfish. And the reason being, Tsumori is telling the three while they were playing goldfish. Wow, there's a pun right there. The irony. She was explaining that there was no Jamoto attack for days. And and he's just dead. And he knows that he has an audience to keep happy. He has sponsors to keep happy. If there's no Jamoto attacks, there's no action, then there's no show. But then again, it's a reality show. They could go to the Real Housewives route. Can you imagine? Real Writers. Nah. That's a horrible name. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not going to give Yuya any ideas. Besides, that idea is so horrible. Anyways, so out of desperation, Chirami calls evil greenhouse man down at Jamoto Planet World, whatever. And this screenshot pretty much tells the whole scene. Because you see this evil greenhouse man just sticking his tongue out while he was listening to this crazy game master, and just overall the conversation is, where the hell are my squids? I mean, are you making them, or what's going on? Like I need some attacks here. We need evil. We need chaos so the riders can come in and save the day. What's going on? And he just sums it up. Look, they will be ready when they're ready, okay? Screw you, goodbye. And all the while, in the background, you see Daichi. And already, the wheels are turning. Daichi had this plan from the beginning. And having him part of the anti-rider gang, Azu 2.0 will become unstoppable, in my opinion. Unless they add Monokuma to that mix. I believe it's going to happen. I believe so. My theories were at least right on the money on most things. This time, I believe it's going to be right on the nose as usual. But who knows? So pretty much the evil greenhouse man just gave Chirami the finger. So with no squid attacks, Chirami decides to do the next best thing. So in the next scene, we have the three finalists. You have Tsumori, and she announced that, hey, the fourth round is about to begin, and Kayla was like, I don't see any monster attacks here, so what's going on? And Sumari explains that Chirami, our beloved game master, will be the villain of this round. And they turn around, you see him, he tells everybody, hey, go easy on me. Kayla is like, are you for real? He's the game master, he's super strong. And after the weird poses, we Kamen Riders need to have this weird, like, this mini performance and then the henshin thing. And his henshin pose is classic Chimari, because he is cuckoo for Cocoa Pups. He transforms into Glare 2. And it looked like he was about to attack the three, but then all of a sudden he decides to turn around and run away. He runs away. All the while he's counting down from 1 to 10, and the riders were just stood there with their mouths open, and just, that scene was priceless. And Sumori explains, okay, the fourth round is going to be a game of hide and seek, okay? And your goal is to capture the game master, okay? It's your problem. Have fun. Go do your thing. And they transform, right? All of a sudden, Keiwa, steps on a trap, and he stupidly lifts his leg up, and he gets, blown up. And Sumari pulled the whole, didn't I mention that this is going to be puppet riders plus traps, and Kay was like, you could have mentioned this earlier. And she's like, yeah, but yeah, I was like still shocked after, the whole running away thing, so sorry. And again, Keiwa triggers another trap. Both he and Sumuri get blown up, and all the while you see Ace fighting the puppets and Neon as well. And Keiwa, throughout this fighting sequence, he's been stepping on trap after trap after trap. And the latest one, Neon pretty much pointed the opposite direction. So Neon lied that the Game Master was that particular way. He gets bombed because he triggered another trap. And at the very end, he triggers another trap. He gets trapped in this steel box. And then this puppet rider, this mindless brainwashed rider, approaches the box, the steel cage, takes out this random paintbrush and decides to make a cat face on Keiwa's face. all the while, before that, when Neon lied, Ace saw the whole thing went down. So I believe, just like the one person commented on last episode, that Ace already knows who the Death Star is. And what he saw pretty much confirms his theory. So Ace knows that Neon's the Death Star. So we move on to the restaurant scene. Poor Keiwa has his face all markered up, depressed even, because now with the new ratings, the approval ratings, and they're not so good. Because here's the thing. Ace is at 42, Neon's at 36, and Keiwa's at 15. But he's more upset that he's been triggering all these traps. And mind you, I assume the rest of us assumed that Keiwa was the luckiest kid in the world. Or maybe just being Tycoon made him the luckiest rider of all. But then it was Kermit the Frog that caused the whole luck thing to go down the toilet. And now in this episode, he has been turned into the unluckiest rider of them all after all those traps he triggered. So he's upset about that. And then it's just this episode, this scene, the restaurant scene, is all about, oh, who can be the Death Star? And Neon is pointing at Ace. Ace is pointing at Neon. And of course, Neon had to drag Keiwa into this because she mentions, well, Ace could be the Death Star because of numerous things, especially when he lied and used Keiwa in the past. And this is where Ace like, okay, yes, I did those things, but this time you have to believe me that I'm not the Death Star. But I wish Neon would have responded with, that's something the Death Star would say. But she never made that comeback, which kind of bugs me. And then after the restaurant scene, we encountered a mysterious stranger who apparently was in the restaurant at the same time. And he wanted to give back Neon's mirror. When she accidentally knocked her purse and all her makeup stuff was on the ground and she forgot her mirror. Hence the mirror, thing. So she was happy to get it back, but not before the mysterious stranger was giving her a lecture. He was talking about, oh, you're being selfish. Your decisions will lead you to disaster, pain, and all that negative stuff. And Neon was like, I don't want to hear about this. You know nothing about me. And just takes the mirror back and just walks away. And the stranger's like, look, I wish I could walk away, but I can't because you're too naive. And here's my theory. Do you think, well, let me do this way. I believe that this stranger could be the true sponsor for Neon. I assume, as well as everybody else, would believe that Neon's father to be the sponsor. Maybe he's not the sponsor. He's just there to support his daughter. It could be that mysterious stranger. Why else would he give her a lecture? Unless he knows what's going on. Unless he was part of the audience and not really a sponsor. He's one of the viewers that watches the Rider reality show. I don't know. We don't know yet. So my theory is the mysterious stranger is the true sponsor for Neon. Because again, why would he lecture her? So after the lecture, right, we move on to Ace and Jean. And this scene, you see Jean just like, where did you get that swing set? And he's just swinging, and Ace is just looking at the stars. And he is concerned because after how many years he was a part of, playing this tournament, he never once have witnessed this moment where the Jamotos never attacked. And to him, it's more like a calm before the storm. And Jean is pretty much confirming his worries. Also, Ace asked, hey, I'm not the Death Star. Do you trust me? And Jean was like, I'm your fan. I trust you. I believe in you. So after that, Jean is telling Ace about Azu 2.0. And she could be the reason why the Jamotos are not attacking right now. They're planning something big, and he doesn't know what it is. And pretty much confirming to Ace, like, she is dangerous, very dangerous. And, he's just confirming Ace's worries. And the fact that Michinaga is a part of that, oof, And then we hit the next day, back at the Greenhouse of Doom. You see Daichi talking to Azu that, yes, this is my plan. I knew Chimari would do this because, it was all part of his plan. And to have him as your strategist, the Jamotos are becoming very dangerous. And now with Azu 2.0 wanting to get the goddess of creation, Daichi can help her get what she wants. All the while, Michinaga's like, I don't care about your wants. I care about what I want. And, I will get it by any means necessary. So Azu 2.0, says to her gang, it's time to unleash our master plan. So they get out there, right? All the while, the last 3 riders have cornered crazy cuckoo Chirami. And guess what? That fighting scene was hilarious. You have to give kudos to the suit actor who is donning the Glare 2 suit. My God. He was giving out bitch slaps, dodging, and doing the worm. It was hilarious. Even Keiwa was creeped out by looking at him doing the worm. And can you imagine in that voiceover booth, while the actors were like filling in the voices for their fight scene and watching it unfold? I mean, I can't imagine. I could imagine there's a ton of laughs. But anyways, so Chirami is doing the worm, and he unleashed more traps. He unleashed more mindless riders. Hell, he unleashed a Indiana Jones boulder. And you see Neon and Keiwa running away and triggering traps while Ace just perfectly just dodges and hides. Like, he knows everything. He's like 2, maybe 3 steps ahead of his opponent. My God, he's too good. So after, dodging the boulder, Ace was fighting a mindless rider. And here's the part where Neon is so terrible. And for those who've seen the episode, which I hope you did before listening into this, is that Neon was down. And she saw this opening, air quotes, where Ace was about to shoot at this mindless, brainless Kamen Rider, right? She decides that this is her chance. So she ends up saving the Kamen Rider. She gets shot. And she says, why did you shoot me, Ace? Keiwa, did you see this? He shot me. He is the Death Star. And my God, Neon, that's your plan? It's just, ugh, God. Yeah. All the while, Chirami is like in the back just watching this unfold, and he's getting happy. Well, not until the anti-rider gang cornered him. But let me finish the 3 riders and then head towards Chirami and his ass whooping. So they demorph. They have their talk. Neon is still at the finger pointing mode that Ace is the Death Star. She is trying to persuade Keiwa to be on her side in hopes of him voting Ace off. But here's the interesting part here. Keiwa is trying to soak everything in. He was like having mixed feelings until he just turned around and just stares at Neon and says, you're the Death Star, not Ace. And you see Ace smiling like, yeah, I hate Ace. I really do. But, whatever. This either here or there. And Kayla, says, "You're the Death Star," and Neo is like, "Why? After everything he has done to you in the past, like, why?" And he gave an excellent explanation. Kayla says the reason that Ace cannot be the Death Star is because he is too good. He lays out his plans to the T. Because remember, when he lost his memory, before he lost his memory, he wrote notes to himself, and that's how he got his memories back. So that's proof right there. So he plans things to the T. He never makes plans that could lead back to him. Also, no, the whole playing the doubt game. Also, and a fellow commenter wrote it down as well, that Ace noticed that Neon was not a part of the Keiwa train, because remember, Daichi was declaring that Keiwa was the Death Star. Neon didn't want to be a part of it, or just said, "Hey, it's true, Keiwa is the Death Star." She never said anything at all, and Ace noticed that as well. So, yeah, there. That's his reasoning. And not Keiwa, Neon was like, "Oh crap, it's over for me now." Once that's settled, like I said, Crazy Cuckoo Game Master gets cornered by Azu 2.0 and her minions. He gets his ass kicked, and he gets his vision driver taken away. And the reason being is because, for one thing, it's not for her to become a Kamen Rider at all. This is apparently one of the keys to gain access to the goddess of creation. According to her, the sponsors, who apparently are Kamen Riders themselves, their drivers are the key to getting hands on the goddess of creation. And there's a cutscene where the goddess of creation is nothing more than a statue, not a living being, which sucks, because I honestly thought that the goddess of creation was actually a human being, a woman, which I thought, in my theory about Ace, maybe he could be a demigod. His mom could be the goddess of creation. But now, seeing this, my theory is thrown out the window. However, things can still change. Maybe the statue is Ace's mother, quote unquote, got turned into a statue. And maybe she will turn back. I don't know. I honestly do not know. But so far, for right now, the goddess of creation is nothing more than a statue. So she ends up taking the driver, Azu 2.0. She was about to leave, either to leave Michinaga and Naichi to beat up the game master a bit more, or escape, whatever. And then here comes Gene. Gene comes in and has a mini talk with Azu 2.0. He's like, "Can you stop this? You're ruining the show." And Azu 2.0 was like, "Yeah, no, we're turning up the volume. We're the entertainment now. We're just making the show even more interesting." And I think Jean kind of knows what she's up to, and she's trying to stop her. And we get to see Jean transform into Kamen Rider Jean, and this is where the episode Our Tale ends. And again, another great episode. A few little issues I have that I mentioned earlier, but I'll recap it later. Right now, I want to discuss the suit. To me, the suit looks okay. It has like a outer space theme. The helmet looks like, like a UFO head. Something that I will get used to. The suit is, like I said, it's okay. And I have to say this too. The actor who plays Gene posted something on social media, and he said that it's been his dream to become a Kamen Rider ever since he was 3 years old. And mind you, I I was shocked to actually see this. Apparently, he was a part of Kamen Rider O's back in 2013, and 13 years later, wait, yeah, was it 2000? Oh wait, O's started at 2010. Never mind, guys. O's started at 2010, and now we're at 2023. So it's been 13 years in the making, and now he's achieved his dream, and I'm sure he was crying, having these happy tears that for 13 years is because, ever since he was 3, his dream has come true, and I like to hear these type of stories. For me, as a Kamen Rider fan, I always wanted Kamen Rider to come here in your realm, in your era, your in your states, and just, yes, Kamen Rider has been aired before. Um, However, none of them just did them justice, and a part of me wants Kamen Rider to come back, but I'm not sure in this climate. But that's either here or there. And Power Rangers is very popular. And this is just a side note. I used to watch Power Rangers, but not anymore. I go to Sentai, and Power Rangers obviously has their target audience in kids, while Sentai, even though it's a kid show as well, it doesn't feel like I'm watching a kid show. It's for everybody. I mean, it's neither here or there, but that's just my opinion, I guess. If you still watch Power Rangers, kudos to you, but it's not for me anymore. I go to Sentai to get my entertainment. So yeah, unfortunately, Kamen Rider here is not popular, but hopefully someday it will. But it's a wishful thinking. So I'm happy for the actor. I'm happy for him. Like I said, the issues that I have with this episode is the goddess of creation being a statue, to Neon being so stupid. And I think that's it. Just those two things out of the top of my head. Kudos to the suit actors, especially the suit actor who wore the glare too. Kudos to you. You doing the worm, oh my god, that was hilarious. And you doing the bitch slapping at people and dodging all weird like. I have to admit, that was really funny. And you running away, it was hilarious. And of course, the suit actor who does, the suit actor for Geats, again, amazing. Yeah, I'm just giving them lots of credit because I assume the suit actors are not getting too much credit, in my opinion. But kudos to them. Other than that, I think that's it, guys. What do you guys think of episode 22? Do you like it? And if you dislike it, what will you change? Also, if I miss anything at all, please write in the comments below. Even though I have my notes in front of me, I sometimes miss some things. So please, if I miss anything, do write in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening. Please give a like if you like this video, this recap of Riderpiece Theater. And please subscribe because it helps. And for those who give me a dislike, thank you anyway. Thanks. And just listening towards the very end. And I'll see you next Sunday. Also have a nice and safe Valentine's Day. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you all on the other side of oblivion. Johnny!